Hello, it's Stragabella. I'm coming to you today to show you my book haul. I got some books in the mail today that I ordered, and one of them I'm really excited about. So I'll share the two smallest first. I'm going to try to make this as short as possible because I'm pretty sure my husband's going to return with dinner probably any minute. So, we've all heard of that whole theory with water. At least most people have heard of the studies done by the Chinese doctor. His name is Masaru. No, I'm not saying it right. Emoto, Dr. Emoto. And I have never read the book actually written by him, The Hidden Messages in Water. I've heard people rave about his discovery and how water takes on words and energy that we project into it. And I'm dying to read this, so I will let you know after I read it. I'm sure I'll talk about it in videos. Let's see. And I went to Salem a while ago, and I went in this store that is very folk, old school type of store, which I loved. And it's devoted to the northern tradition, like Germanic, northern European kind of traditions. So there were several books in there that I really wanted, but they're very, very expensive to buy in a store brand new. So I found two of them online used. So one of them is this. It's called Runes and Feminine Powers, Northern Mysteries Magic by Freya Aswynn, A-S-W-Y-N-N. And I love this book because, at least from what I've read so far, because it goes into details about the runes that most books don't. And if you guys watch my channel regularly, you know I've struggled with the fact that I have difficulty reading tarot, but I've been able to read runes since I was a teenager. And so I'm very familiar with rune magic, doing divination and all of that, but this book goes into each rune individually, and it goes into the details about how the energy works. They relate it to our psyche, to psychology, and they also explain each rune, how it relates to its working in the world, like as far as creation and how it affects things in the universe. And it just has much more detail than I've ever seen anywhere else. And it really helps you to understand the runes deeper, in a deeper way, more intimately. And it will help you be able to use them better. I just mentioned how I've had trouble with tarot, and I also used to think astrology was challenging until I got that workbook that I got not too long ago. And I found that using a workbook and studying in a way that, you know, in a more school type of way where you're being taught and then you have to actually practice it yourself, like you do an assignment. And so I got this. It's Tarot for Yourself. It's a workbook for personal transformation by Mary K. Greer. I haven't looked at it much yet, but I'm hoping that it'll help me to learn tarot. I mean, as many books as I've read, as many different cards and stuff I've tried, I still have trouble with the tarot cards. And last but not least, this is my very favorite. I am so happy about this book because I've never, in all my years of collecting books and all of that, I've never come across a book that had the exact recipes that my family used. My grandmother, the same things my grandmother made year after year at certain times. So this is real old school folk magic. It's called Ancient Ways, Reclaiming Pagan Traditions by Pauline Campanelli. And this is a very old book, so I'm not sure how difficult it's going to be. I just happened to find it used on thrift books. Because I was surprised because I knew it was old, but I didn't think it was this old. It was actually first published in 1943, so it's pretty old. And then it went out of print for a long time, and it was reprinted again in 1991. And so that's how it got back into circulation, apparently. And it's a very simple book. It just, all it is it has a chapter on each of the holidays. Let's see how they set it up. Yeah, basically it's just 8 chapters, and it describes, it has a brief description of each of the 8 celebrations during the year. And but the detail that it goes into and the things in it are not anything I've ever seen in any other book. I mean, it has the basics that are in all the books, but I've never in my life come across the exact things that, like my tradition, I mean, detailed recipes with the exact ingredients and everything. I'll show you something that I thought was really awesome. It's not just anything to do with just Italian folk magic. It talks about all different kinds, but here, the Italian Easter basket cookies. My grandmother did this exact thing, and she wove the boiled eggs into the basket and all of that. The hot cross bun, same thing with the symbol made into it with the knife, and all of it. And that's surprising because I've never really come across too much that had specifics and used the same herbs and charms and stuff. I mean, the whole book isn't like that, but the whole book has a lot of stuff that you're not going to find in other books. And it's really, it's very good at giving you a picture of those kind of folk passed on within families, within small communities type of stuff. And it's nice because it's not just for the purpose of magical practice, it's also family and tradition, the way, if you look at it that way. Because each year, for example, Easter that I was talking about, the coloring of the eggs, and in this book they used herbs and vegetables and fruits and stuff to make the dyes for the colors of the eggs. And it has a whole big section with many different ways of using eggs for magic, and it's got things in here that just you won't find elsewhere, and I would love this. I wish I could find more books like it. I have another topic to talk about in relation to this one book thing, how the stuff in here, you can't find it anymore. So stay tuned. I'm just going to end this video. I hope you liked the book haul, and I will see you next time. Blessed be.